from parts unknown. I know I've been down for a while, but I'm broadcasting here this evening. And I've got on my thumbnail, Biden, where you had Trump saying anywhere, anytime, any place. Yeah, you see what Biden's saying there. Any who, any what, any wah, hoo, ha. But anyway, I'm going to do a little talking about ghosts in the machine tonight. And we're going to be looking to talk to people that aren't really down with the program because there's a lot of stuff going on. I've been posting on Truth, and then the other half of that is social. So, and for new people, you got to understand that I talk this way because if I say certain words on a certain platform, they will be causing me problems. So I got to say them in a twisted way. And if you put stuff in the chats that might be a little sideways, use a number for a vowel, like a 0 for an O, 3 for an E, things like that. Confuse the matrix, so to speak. So anyway, folks, and I want to know if I have any chats stuck on the screen and if I'm having a good signal. So that's the two questions I got. Do I have any chat stuck on the screen? And do I have a good signal? So, and then we shall proceed as we're waiting for people to get into the broadcast tonight. I'll tell you what, for people that have been with this insightful movement, we know now there's no doubt about ghosts in the machine. We have no doubt about Mr. T's affiliation with a plus on the end of it, of a certain letter that's, I spell it like a white ball on the pool table, okay? A cue ball. C-U-E, that's how I spell it, and that's how you spell it in the chats. But do I have any chats stuck on the screen, folks? I don't know. Let me see what's going on in the chats. Andrew, how you doing? White Lightning, Wanda, Sherry, MS Motorsports, single songwriter. Nice to see you all. 5x5. All right, Phil. So I don't see anybody letting me know there's chat stuck on the screen. So I'll just continue like we're doing all right. As you all know, I had a little, okay, Phil, no chats on the screen. Great. Had a little problem with my voice. So I'm trying to, hi, Roberto, keep it copacetic there. And I'll tell you what, some of these people are coming out of the woodwork by necessity. I'm going to show you one. I already told you about Mr. Sweaty Man, Andrew Weissman. But look here. Look here. Do you all know who this creepo is? Who this creep is? But he's making an appearance, blast from the past. Okay? Let's see if anybody gets who he is. I'll go ahead and tell you. Cohen's former attorney weighs in on evidence against Trump. So we're in the know, and we know there isn't anything even illegal being done. So how can there be evidence? But anyway, this is Lanny Davis. Yeah, David got that. Hi, David. How you doing? And Lanny Davis was a big shot, I won't say the other word, in the Clinton administration. And we know that this creepo right here in the corner with this sad look on his face, Cohen, he had attorneys before Lanny Davis. And the long and the short of it is he got the screws put to him. How you doing, him? He got the screws put to him to testify anything against Trump, anything, to the point where his attorneys kind of washed their hands of him. And when stuff started getting deep and turned out he was lying about tax stamps for taxi cabs and stuff like that. So who picked him up? Lanny Davis. Lanny Davis, a Clinton operative. Now, he's had to come out on CNN and start talking the gibberish and the lawfare gruel, logic, twisted logic nonsense that the average person who does not like Trump and doesn't pay attention would lap up that mess, okay? But we know better, and it's starting to come out, and that's because I feel that the ghosts in the machine are turning up the heat. Now, take my thumbnail for an instance. Remember that speech he gave? It's called the Red Speech. Those are cardboard cutouts of Marines back there. It definitely gave a lot of people the creeps. Got people to start looking at the Biden agenda in a different way. And I believe that is on purpose. But let's go ahead and play, and I'm sure you all have heard it. I've got Biden's notes right here for him to make his little speech. Oh, well, that's not just notes. Wait a minute, that's a diary. Yeah. So anyway, it's no accident that diary got confirmed, okay, by Ashley herself. But anyway, let's go ahead and there's a picture of it. You're going to get a screenshot if you didn't have that. But anyway, let's see. Do we want Joe calling out? Let me tell you, let's see, what do you feel is similar here? Talking about ghosts in the machine. Similar here to what you just saw on the Red Speech. Anyway, here's King Charles unveiling something. You could tell by the claps in the audience that they don't, what are they looking at? That is downright hideous. They call it art, but it's hideous. And people are drawing connections and subliminal thoughts. You see this red, everybody knows what red symbolizes in the prime sense. But also it's taken as something evil, especially when you look at Biden during his Red Speech. But anyway, here, where is that one I had of Biden calling out Trump? Here we go. Here's Joe. We've all heard this one. How many cuts do they have? How many? I brought that up in the past with Bill Barr, with the hard cuts that they did in the video when he was testifying in front of the J6 committee. And of course, they claim Bill Barr's full testimony has been absconded with and or destroyed. But anyway, let's go ahead and watch this.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
So, of course, that's a smarmy comment. I heard you're free on Wednesdays. That, I don't believe that was an accident. Not to go too far off the edge, but that it was an obvious jab. People are starting to see that Trump is, as you'll see in one clip I'll play, being, quote, picked on, okay? And nobody likes that. The average American doesn't like that. And for him to come out and say that, because the bottom line is, to everybody that still can't stand Trump. I saw one woman on one of those person on the street interview. The young man said, asking about, who do you want to vote for? And this young lady, well, young to me, said, no way I'm voting for Trump. No way. No effing way. The gratuitous use of that word. I don't want Biden, but there's no effing way I'm voting for Trump. For you people, the choice is getting starker and starker. And history's going to judge people, because this is only going to turn out one way. We're not going to have a nation collapse under the weight of the things that are going on. The financial system is not going to be allowed to get to a point where people can't make it. Citizens can't make it. We're not going to be going to a digital dollar. We're not going to be going to social credits. We're not going to own nothing and be happy. That's not going to happen. But that's the choice between the two factions. And I'll say it again, if it wasn't for Trump, we would have someone else. I don't know who it could have been. It could have been Mark Cuban. It could have been Elon Musk. I don't know. Could have been someone totally different. But this, and I will use air quotes, this operation was going to happen. It's had to happen. And yeah, it's overused. But in this case, it's apropos that we have to save our nation, our way of life, and our civilization. Hi, Bill. How you doing? Lori, nice to see you. Miss Mendersu. Hi, Mr. Kibler. Angela. Nice to see you all coming in that. Now, if there's anybody that comes in with smart aleck comments, just ignore them. Wanda, that's H3LL. H3LL. So, just, I run across them, I'll talk to them. But don't get into, just carry on with your own comments, conversations, okay? No sound. Have you all got sound? Sometimes if you use earbuds, if you're listening with one earbud, you might not have the right earbud. I don't see anybody else saying there's no sound. But anyway. Yeah, Flank Cheese, how you doing? I'm back. I just have to watch my voice. Be charming. Nice to see you all. I got 5x5s. Sounds good. All right, that's good. It might be your device. Think about it. Now, part of what goes to the machines, part of that is what's included in that is what I've talked about many times. The Truth and Reconciliation Act, okay? We were told by Mr. T himself and by many other people that things could not get straightened out in this country without the media being straightforward and giving people accurate information. And I think they're being ordered to do so. And I think they're putting it out in a way where they're spoon feeding the truth to them, and then it's going to turn into little teaspoons in your porridge bowl, right? Remember? You get the silver bowl, and you put your kids' initials on it, and that's what they get to eat their porridge out of when they're growing up. And then you get older and older, and pretty soon they'll be stuffing it in their face with a shovel. But anyway, here's an example, and I've shown these before. But this is CNN. When did you think CNN would ever not only put this information out, but listen to the words that he's using, okay? It's a very short clip.
Look, these Sunbelt battleground states, frankly, for the Joe Biden campaign, these numbers are an absolute disaster. The smallest lead is in Arizona for Donald Trump. He's up 6. Look at this. 13 in Nevada. My goodness gracious. My God. That is a huge lead. No Democrat has lost that state since John Kerry lost it back in 2004.
My goodness gracious, my God. This is disastrous for Biden. Nobody's won this state since whatever. So it's pretty powerful, and it's unequivocal, okay? It's not something that can be hemmed and hawed and, well, wait a minute, this qualifier, that qualifier. Do you think they're doing that on purpose? Of course. Do you think they're doing it voluntarily, or somebody's putting their thumb behind their ear? Here's something else. Speaking of Joe, how about this? Didn't get much play, but I'm going to give it play.
I've never thought I'd see a time when I'm going through a neighborhood or a rural town in the West, and see big signs that have a Trump sign in the middle that says F. Biden, and having a little kid standing with his middle finger, 7 years old, 8 years old. Well, I promise it happens all the time.
Happens all the time. And that's getting out more and more. But anyway, with these debates, what compelled the Biden camp? Because it wasn't Biden's decision. What compelled him to all of a sudden agree to debates? And Cohen today had a horrible day. He had a horrible day. Was it to distract from what was with the Cohen testimony? A lot of people have said that in the past, they've said that Cohen was either a gray hat or a white hat. I've always thought that he was a POS hat. And I may be right about that. I think he, the cab stamps, taxi stamps, those things are very real. Trump was very clear when he said Cohen's parents are the money. Look into how their money is working. Very clear intimations that there's something rotten in Denmark with the Cohen clan. So, no, he doesn't do that with people who are on the side, okay, of the T team, okay? Team T. But anyway, let me see. Did you all get to see Ghosts in the Machine, the short video? Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? Jet lag. Ha. Yes, we're all doing well. All doing well. Mr. Magoo, Bill Giles said, well, I'm going to play it for you. And you all, I'll see if I can anybody here trying to have a conversation with me from the opposite side. Because, I was disheartened. I was watching and following along in the chats. and a couple of guys in Marines, okay? And totally out of the blue, after watching hours of their back and forth and conversations, this one character says, Trump has always bought his way out of trouble. And I was very incensed at that ignorant statement. And that goes back to what I've cautioned you all. Just because someone has served doesn't mean you bow down to him, okay? Doesn't mean you bow down to him. You appreciate their service, but don't buy everything they're selling. Because let me tell you, if you were in the military, you would have an appreciation. Oh, here's the news reports about that little clip Biden put out about challenging Trump. Here you go. President Biden dies 13 times while filming challenging Trump to debate. You know I like my Babylon Bee. Let me get that. But anyway, the bottom line is about this military business. Someone serving in the military needs to understand that there's more than just cannons, guns, airplanes. PsyOps, okay, is a weapon. And I know there's a generation gap. I know there's spiritual gaps in our society. But the average person, I'm convinced, feels and knows that we're at a crossroads in our civilization right now. And to not understand that our military is ready for this crossroads. And with the first law of war in mind, the least human suffering, achieve your goal with least human suffering, just that bit of information, step back and take a look at what's happening to the media, what's happening with Biden, what's happening around the world with Trump's statements. You can see that this is a counter PSYOP. Mr. T said, we're dealing with illegal psychological warfare campaigns. All right? We're dealing with an insurgency from within. We're the counterinsurgency. People need to use their brains, especially if they served in the military. Get enough respect for the branch you served in and every branch as a whole. Do you honestly believe that we're going to let this country crumble and fall to non-government organizations that are infiltrating colleges, infiltrating our social fabric, our media, our movies, and that we're going to allow this country to fall, our civilization to crumble? No, I don't believe so, because if our military was incapable of meeting that insurgency, that warfare campaign, if they weren't up to it, we're screwed anyway. But I have full faith in our military that they know what's going on and they're making the proper moves. Let me play this for you. Now, I believe this was MSNBC. I've already shown you a clip of CNN. I've showed you clips in the past of CNN. Trump at one of his talks outside the courtroom read reports that were favorable, that were critical of the prosecution, and he named the news services, among them the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, okay? When in the past 7 or 8 years have they ever given Trump a break, ever given him any kind of credit, ever, much less all at the same time? So anyway, this gives a little mood of people. And 6 months ago, backwards, this clip would have ended up on the editing floor, would never have been presented to the American people. But here we go. Truth and Reconciliation Act.
Are they being impacted by this trial? Are they paying close attention? And what impact might a guilty verdict have on their decision to support the former president? Here's what they told me. Take a look. Do each of you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Yes. Yes for all three of you? Yes. Has this trial changed your opinion, even caused you to waver or question that at all?
No, it's actually caused me to support him more. I just don't believe there's a coincidence that we have a trial happening in Atlanta. We have one happening in New York. So the question people are beginning to ask themselves, like I did, is like, why now?
It's pretty much everybody says they're picking on him. You know, people are tired of going after him, and you see it in so many areas. It's really not a big issue in the party. Actually, they're really making everybody mad, and they look at a big bully, and the government is the bully.
This is going to be your first time casting a ballot. What is it for you?
But he still hasn't given up. He keeps fighting to do what's right.
I've talked to many people who formerly identified as a Democrat. They have changed their political persuasion to independent, and they are looking forward to voting for Trump. Wow. Because now they find something in common with a political candidate at that level.
When you say they find commonality, what is that commonality?
They have felt persecuted by the system of American injustice. And it's not a stretch for them to think that Trump may be a victim as well. People see that there's some kind of commonality between himself and maybe all the black men that have been incarcerated and the families that have been impacted by black male incarceration.
Yeah, that little clip said a lot from a lot of different perspectives. And as I said, this clip would have never got off the cutting room floor. But here it is, folks. Here it is, the one with the polls, the one showing the devastating numbers for Biden on CNN, the average person being interviewed by this young lady here. Let me get the, this is the clip for Ghost of the Machine, but by this young lady here, we're hearing from people, and you're seeing there's a mix. You have young people in there. You have mature people in there. You got somebody with snow on the roof with gray hair. So it's a spread, okay? And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful than a maternal instinct, okay? Comes in second is paternal. Number one is maternal instinct. And they have activated the maternal instinct in this country with the TG movement, okay? Trans, okay? And then gender, okay, movement. People are starting to wonder, what is their kid being exposed to when they go to school? They worry about their mental health. They worry about, hey, how many times have you heard, when are you going to give me grandchildren? Okay? And, hey, you ain't going to have no grandchildren, let me tell you, if the soy and the bugs and the philosophy that they're pushing keeps going. So it's subconsciously activating, it's sparking a maternal instinct. Let's see. Let me check the chats. I'm going to play Ghost in the Machine for you. 2, the second one, put out by the 4th Army Group PSYOPs team, okay? And I had to edit it at the end to capture capture some words that fleetingly cut across the screen. And let me see how many people have seen, and don't go dipping out trying to watch it, have seen Ghost in the Machine 2. Give me a 1 if you've seen it. Give me a 2 if you have not. Please. A 1 if you've seen it, a 2 if you have not. CJ, 1975, how you doing? It's a simple question. Have you seen Ghosts in the Machine 2 by the 4th Army Group PsyOps Group? I got 1 from Debbie. And then single songwriter CJ Andrew 2's Wanda 2. Okay, we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. And Debbie, I'm going to ask you a question. Brenda said, I'm going to ask Brenda a question. I'm going to ask Debbie a question. Real quick before I play it. What were the fleeting words at the end of the video? And I'm only going to give you, since there's a lag, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer it. That should cover what were the words at the end that were fleeting. Fleeting words at the end. Now, as I play this, folks, I might stop it and make a comment in case there's any copyright issues. But watch for the little ghost symbols, okay? They're using a particular chess piece. I think you'll find that interesting also. It's a very interesting, they say, a recruitment video. So our 30 seconds is coming to a close. The fleeting words at the end of this video. Dun, 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 boom, boom. Okay. We'll just go ahead and watch it. I can't blame you for not seeing it because, as I said, they were fleeting words, less than 1/10 of a second on the screen, but I froze them at the end. So anyway, here we are. I'm going to cut my mic off so you all can enjoy it. I am a little man, and this is a little town. That's how it starts off.
There are many people in the world who really don't understand. Freedom has many difficulties, but we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in. Freedom is indivisible. And when one man is enslaved, all of them are free.
Modern war has become a struggle for men's minds as well as for their bodies. Today we face an enemy who spends enormous sums of money and manpower all over the globe in an attempt to subvert the thinking of the people of the free world, confuse, divide, and ultimately to subjugate.
It is a contest unlike any we have ever faced in our history as a nation.
Contest for the minds and hearts of people around the world, all people.
When power corrupts, poetry cleanses. We must never forget that art is not a form of propaganda. It is a form of truth.
Psychologists find that control of a
I had to cut off the word effective, or what you see on the screen would have disappeared. That's how quick it was on the screen. See you at selection. See you at selection. Let's see. Did I watch the 2019 Renmin University Dongsheng speech? Like I said, I'm lost on that one. 2019 University. Shoot, I'm not sure. I watch so much stuff. But let's see if you give me any more hints. But see you at selection. Okay, is that when you sign up for the Army? Are you going to be selected to be on PSYOPs? Are you going to be somebody who's got a high IQ? Are you going to be somebody that exercises logic? Okay, the purer form, the better. Okay, are you going to be somebody who's proficient in game theory, a natural autist? Is that what's going to get you selected for PSYOPs? Are you going to be able to read people? Okay, not through watching body language videos, but are you going to be an empath? Okay, somebody that can look at somebody's face, that little twitch that gives them away, that little inflection in their voice when you're on the phone with them, that you know what's going through their brain. Or is it going to be in November selection? That's why it was on the screen so briefly. Subliminal. You're watching this video, your brain read that as quick as it was on the screen. Your brain registered. So anyway, if you want to, I saw Miss Mindersu said about the resolution. It's on UTizzle. You can get it on a high resolution on UTizzle. I wouldn't be able to broadcast with a higher resolution because I'm not a real studio, you know. But it's under Ghosts in the Machine, and then the number 2. And there's the Ghosts in the Machine number 1. We watched that one, a year and a half, 2 years ago? So I'm just looking through the chats. I didn't have any dinner this evening. Anyway. So it has meaning, believe me. Lone Wolf. Oh, okay. Went by, buy me a coffee. I appreciate it, Lone Wolf. Thank you so much for going to buy me a coffee. And I appreciate everybody to help me before I took some time off. Mike and Bev and Robin, Gary, Hilarious, Lone Wolf, Miss Mindersu, Angela, Norm, Hawk, Love to Garden, and Wanda helped out in the weeks before I took a little time off because of my voice. But thank you, Lone Wolf, for helping out. But anyway, what I want to point out, I'm going to play a video right now to remind people. This is about one topic. You look at how the media is acting now, what kind of videos they're putting up now, what kind of poll numbers they're putting up now, what kind of discussions they're having now. And I'm going to play one more for you after this video. But just remember, this was one issue that was a lie. And if I use the term B-I-G, okay, L-I-E, if I use that word, those two words together, it'll be a problem. So I'm not going to call it the big, O-K-L-I-E. I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to call it the damn lie, okay? Because that's what we're dealing with Russia, a damn lie. Claiming he just runs up and grabs women, molests women because of the tape that was released by Billy Bush, okay, where he said women let him, but they for years twisted it around that he runs up and grabs women. A damn lie. That he praised the Klan and like kind people at Charlottesville when they edited the tape, edited out his words as a damn lie. Lie after lie after lie, damn lie after damn lie after damn lie. And he still got more votes than any sitting president in this country's history. Just remember that. There's a reason for it, because 76 million people didn't fall for it. That's the ones that made it through, not the ones that ended up in a dumpster or a shredder. So anyway, this is one example of one damn lie that they kept up for years. And count how many people in this video you think are going to end up in jail for this damn lie. And remember that they can make compilation tapes of the other damn lies too. But this is the one that affected national security, subverted the lawful operation of government the most. Okay? And he still got the votes he got. But let me go ahead and play it for you.
A great case officer Vladimir Putin is. He knows how to handle an asset, and that's what he's doing with the president.
The Russians offered help. The campaign accepted help. The Russians gave help, and the president made full use of that help. And that is pretty damning.
The top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee is warning today that there is already evidence that the Trump campaign colluded.
Adam Schiff, the top Democrat, saying there is significant evidence of collusion.
Adam Schiff saying there is, quote, significant evidence of collusion. According to Congressman Adam Schiff, who attended the hearing today, President Trump and Trump Jr. had a conversation.
This is something that Adam Schiff, the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, brought up today.
We heard from Adam Schiff.
According to Schiff, well,
here's Adam Schiff.
As soon as Adam Schiff and company walk out of that closed-door hearing, let us know.
The former DNI director, James Clapper, and John Brennan, they all talked about seeing communications, meetings that was concerning them. And this now backs up some of what they've been saying all along.
James Clapper, who knows more about all of this than almost anyone out there.
General Clapper and Director Brennan on the show just a few minutes ago saying that they think that President Trump is being played by Putin.
Reasonable to ask if he could be working on behalf of Russian interests and not the U.S.'s?
Well, it's a reasonable question.
Former acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe, listen to what he said when asked whether he thinks President Trump could be a Russian asset.
It's possible. I think that's why we started our investigation.
Andrew McCabe, I asked him that question. He said, I think it's possible.
It's possible? That is a remarkable statement for a top intelligence official to make.
The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the former Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, I mean, they've all said this. So to believe Donald Trump, which seems a little far-fetched to me.
Yeah, they can get you 6 ways to Sunday. They can get you 6 ways to Sunday. Adam Schiff getting millions of dollars, giving millions of dollars to the judge's daughter. Oh, things are going to be coming together. But that's just for the people who need to come down to reality about what the people in this country want. It's not about Trump. It's not about people having a single person moment over Trump. If it wasn't Trump, there'd be someone else. People see what's going on about the push for this country and other countries around the world to surrender their sovereignty. Remember when I told you all that Sam Bankman-Fried was not going to do 25 years in jail? Hi, for freedom. How you doing? Remember, I said that, folks. Well, what was coming across my news feed? What was coming across my news feed, whether I'm interested or not? Sam Bankman-Fried traded his $35 million. I wasn't interested. Okay, but see how nice his picture is, his courtroom picture is compared to that garbage they were putting out about Trump. But anyway, it turns out, if I find it in here, if I can, I can remember it easy enough. Here we go. It turns out, and there's multiple articles like this. Whoa, I lost it. Here we go. It turns out they found the money. Was Sam Bankman-Fried proven right about FTX's solvency? Bankrupt crypto exchange FTX has recovered billions of dollars, more than it needs to make the victims of Sam Bankman-Fried's theft whole. Wait a minute. I thought it was the biggest disaster since Bernie Madoff. But now they've found the money. There's no real victim. You think he's going to do 25 years? I told you he wasn't going to do it. And wait a minute, let me ask the chats a question. Who's the judge? With no goggling, but we've been over it. Who's the judge that's handling Sam Bankman fraud? Scam Stankman fraud. And he made himself look all tough, given 25 years to scam Stankman fraud. Well, exactly, Melinda. Judge Kaplan, the same one who pulled that stunt with that old bat, what's-her-face, that claimed that Trump molested her in a department store. So, like I said, mark my words. Hi, I love the garden. How you doing? I said, mark my words, and it's proven true. But let me show you something. A couple of things. Here, speaking of courtroom sketches, this is already going to be, how many times have you seen that meme on the top? How many? 1,000 times. Now here's the new meme they're going to come up with. Stormy and Cohen and Donald Trump. So you might want to put that in your quiver so you can make up some really funny memes with that. Oh, and speaking of Stormy, they claim they're going to, if Trump's found not guilty, they'll vacate the country. No, you won't. There's probably already a warrant, a sealed warrant, a sealed indictment for you. Not just you, a lot more than you. Let me get some of these out of the way. Here you go. I demand reparations from every idiot that voted for Biden. How about that for reparations? So anyway, let me put this one up. I like this one. You're going to see a lot more of that too. Trump has made such huge gains in the youth vote, minority votes. Unbelievable, something unheard of. They're not reporting on it. They're starting to report on it. But I'm going to play. Now, I know that last clip didn't do very well. But I got a clip of Anderson Pooper Scooper. Because this, folks, is the ghost in the machine. This is the Truth and Reconciliation Act. It takes him, he runs around Robin Hood's barn to make a point that a normal broadcaster would have just made the point. But it's the last sentence he says at the end is the point. I might interrupt this halfway through because I heard something interesting, but listen to Anderson Pooper Scooper.
The last 20 minutes of court today, right before the lunch break, it was incredible. I mean, it was, Ellie Honig on my program last night had talked about, on a cross-examination, lawyers want to kind of put the witness in build a box around the witness and then slam it shut. That's what Todd Blanche did to Michael Cohen. I mean, the story, the Todd Blanche just methodically went through this sequence of events of this phone conversation that Michael Cohen had testified to previously. That he had this consequential phone conversation with Donald Trump. It was a 90-second phone conversation. I believe it was October 24th was the date that it was testified to in around 8 p.m. or so at night. But Todd Blanche on his cross-examination today looked at the transcript of text messages that Michael Cohen had received and sent before that time frame. And there had been this series, I guess, of crank calls that Michael Cohen had received. It turned out to be from some 14-year-old. There was an exchange of messages between the alleged 14-year-old and Michael Cohen. And then Michael Cohen texts Keith Schiller at like 7:50 something or 7:48 p.m. Saying, hey, Dope has been harassing me.
Okay, I'm just interrupting real quick. He's talking. What the hell is he talking about, babbling about? He's trying to make a point. But wait a minute. It's the first we've heard of a 14-year-old on Cohen's phone. Oh, it was just pranking, right? Keep that in your memory banks. That might pop up in the future. I don't know. It could be wrong. But anyway, he's babbling, going on and on and on. What's your point, pooper scooper?
I got the person's phone number. Who can I talk to? Keith Schiller texts him back saying, call me. And Michael Cohen calls Keith Schiller. This is the conversation that previously Michael Cohen had said he was calling to speak to Donald Trump to tell him that he was going ahead with the Stormy Daniels arrangement and that Trump approved it, which was a crucial to Michael Cohen's whole raison d'etre for being on the stand. He's the only person testifying to direct involvement by Donald Trump in the Stormy Daniels payments. But according to suddenly now Michael Cohen's refreshed memory, he now says, oh, it was a call about this 14-year-old making crank phone calls to me, but also about the moving ahead on Stormy Daniels. Todd Blanche was incredulous, his voice cracking, his voice raising up, moving around the courtroom, speaking, saying, what the jury doesn't want.
Okay, your audience is half asleep, pooper scooper. What are you trying to get at?
Want to hear, him guessing. It wants to hear facts. It was an extraordinary cross-examination by Todd Blanche. And, Michael Cohen's, throughout the day, Michael Cohen, when he found himself in a corner, he does have a pattern of suddenly not understanding the question that's being asked, or seemingly kind of, one could say buying time to try to figure out how he wants to answer. But he definitely suddenly starts to, have Todd Blanche repeat questions and say, I don't quite understand what you mean. I'm confused by the question. But this time, Michael Cohen was cornered in what appeared to be a lie, I think, to many in the room, and had to adjust suddenly his memory that he had just testified to on Tuesday.
Oh, he was lying. Oh, thank you, Scooper Pooper, for 3.5 minutes of BS. When the thing is, he's testifying different from what he testified just a couple of days ago. He's a liar. Okay, their report is done. Unless you want to give some more information on what in the world a 14-year-old was doing on his phone, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out about that. But one thing we do know is he's a liar, and somebody made you say that. Okay? Now, this debate coming up, here's what they say Biden is requiring for this debate. Biden's debate demands. Dates in June and September. Okay. CNN, ABC News, Telemundo, or CBS bypass the Commission on Presidential Debates. Microphones only active during each candidate's term. Now, let's all get to a certain post that I put up and been going around different circles, and I blocked out a particular letter. Donald J. Trump, it is my great honor to accept the CNN debate against crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States and a true threat to democracy, on June 27th. Likewise, I accepted ABC News debate against crooked Joe on September 10th. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. Well, wait a minute. What's those green lines and circles all about? Let's see. What is that all about? Oh, September 10th, 2020. Number 4657. Okay. Debates. Biden camp will find excuse, reason to terminate. Biden camp will be provided the questions ahead of time. Biden camp will be provided the questions ahead of time and assistance in the form of a special communication device. Well, you all remember the close-up photos we had of Biden after the debates in 2016? Yeah. Where Biden's eyes were black as coal from contacts, where there were wires running up his sleeve and behind his ear hole, up inside his jacket and all that. Yeah. So, but anyway, isn't that strange that we have that post lining up with Mr. T's post? And getting back to that veteran, okay, hey, I never disrespect a veteran, but I'm not going to bow down and kiss up to them, especially when they behave like a fool. All right? Donald Trump has always bought his way out of problems. What an ass. When we've got right in front of us a choice of a culture of death, okay, the destruction of our freedoms, or a restoration of our Constitution. And this is just one more signal that this situation is real, coinciding with the 4th Army Group putting their PSYOPs, Ghost of the Machine #2, all the past stuff that Trump has put out. This is worldwide as evidence, and we got plenty of evidence, not just King Charles, showing that disastrous hellscape of a portrait of himself. All right? We've got way more than that. Way more than I can cover in my hour and however long I go. But here. War, U.S. Army releases disturbing psychological operations recruitment. It's not disturbing to me. Discusses conditioning, okay? Game theory with the chess pieces, okay? Yeah, but what I have to say, like to that guy that doesn't appreciate his own branch of service. If you trust the government, I don't trust you. Nothing personal. I just know that you don't do any research. Not even that. You don't open your damn eyes. Okay? And I've talked about people who, hey, thank you for your service, but peeling potatoes, somebody's got to do it. But that doesn't mean that game theory, all right, combat operations, none of that. When society is collapsing and some dude is trying to talk to me about sports, it's about the same daggone way I feel. Here's some memes I put up. Here. The Founding Fathers never intended a nation where citizens would pay nearly half of everything they earned to the government. Amen. But that's where we're at. And some people are happy. as long as the eagle poo-poos in their mailbox every month. They could care less. All right? As long as the eagle flies over their mailbox and does its business. Because, look here, this is one focused mostly, exclusively on Europe. But take a look at this, folks, and get a screenshot of this. Where in Europe do people pay the highest taxes? NATO countries, NWO world countries, okay? Look at that. 47%, 45%, 45%, 45%, 43%, 55%, 52%, 57%, 39.6%. That's not bad. But look over there in Russia, 13%. Belarus, 13%. Even you Krizzles, only 18%. Romania, 10%. Okay? But like I put in my on my Truth and Then Social post, the New World Order ain't going to build itself. Here's another little something I put up. Can we land yet? No, it's too early. At the moment, they're trying to change the weather by eating bugs. They've got their own PSYOP campaign going on to get us to eat bugs. People say, oh, that's awful. You know, quit scaring people. Oh, yeah? Here. Something delicious to look at. If we want to save the planet, the future of food is insects. Don't forget when Obama wrote his book. I ought to find a clip of that audio book where he says, crickets are crunchy. Some other bug is chewy. Do you remember Obama reading his own audio book talking about what was it, Indonesia or somewhere like that, scratch your Pakistan or wherever he was at, eating bugs? I remember. Here for everybody that believes in lizards. And then we convinced them carbon-based life forms. Then we convinced the carbon-based life forms that carbon was bad for them. LOLs and hissing noises. Bunch of fools. I'll just see what's going on in the chats here. Let me get rid of, I can't see, I got to get the Martians out of the way or whether they are. Yeah, Debbie, it's coming, that's for sure. That's right, single songwriter. Go back and listen to those debates. And especially one where Joe Biden said he is going to be transitional. He only intends to serve one term. That was exact words to Kamala Harris. Here's some ghosts in the machine right here. Putting this out. Prepping the people. Okay? Look at these polls. Destroys in Arizona. Crushes in Georgia. Destroys in Michigan. Beats in Pennsylvania. Okay? Georgia's a 10-point lead. Where Biden, air quotes, won by 11,000 some votes out of millions cast, and nobody can see through that crap. We can. We have been seeing through it, and we're tired of being treated like there's something wrong with us. Here we go. Breaking: White House blocks release of audio of Biden's special counsel interview, arguing GOP wants it for political reasons. Well, what the hell did they raid Mar-a-Lago for? Truth, justice, and the American way? In a pig's eye. They don't want it to get out because he didn't take his medicine and he's talking like a nut. I tell you. Here's two I put up that I think people need to share on their Facebook. Now or Meta, whatever they call it. Now they don't take them down. When I was putting this stuff, they take them down so daggone fast your head would spin, and then you'd be out of it for a week. First time in our lifetimes and our parents' lifetimes, who ordered the counting stopped in 6 states simultaneously on November 3rd? Trying to figure out how Biden won a record low of only 16.7 of all U.S. counties. How many times did I have somebody come into my comments and say, it's math, it's math? Well, that's the math. 16.7% of all U.S. counties. And then got the most votes in history. It's all BS. I'm just seeing what's going on in the chat. Wait a minute, here we go. You know it's going poorly for Michael Cohen when Ari Melber and MSNBC are dishing the bad news to viewers. I think the punches are building cumulatively. I think Tuesday there will be bruises. And today there is BLOOD. They said that. They said that on MSNBC about Cohen. He's being discredited by all news services. Unheard of. Truth and Reconciliation Act. Let's see, what is this one? 2024 requirements. Oh, Trump says must take place in large venues, must last 2 hours. Both candidates must be standing. Oh, and Biden wanted no audience, no RFK Jr., no third-party candidate, limited news outlets, candidate microphones must be muted. Let's see what happens, if it's even going to get to that. Is it even going to get to that, folks? Do you think debates are going to come? Because what else has Biden got to worry about right here? If he's even worried about it. Breaking news, Hunter Biden lost his attempt on Tuesday to delay the start of the criminal trial on gun charges. Folks, this could come down to what Clarence Thomas was talking about. How can somebody lose a constitutional right to protect themselves if they've done something non-violent? How can you strip away a right? One of the Bill of Rights lost forever because you wrote a bad check over a certain amount of money? I don't know how it's going to play in with Hunter Biden, but it may be because the Democrats have to rescue Hunter, that they go along with it. Like I said, nobody cares unless their ox is getting gored, right? Now, did you all heard about that assassination attempt? I got to watch what I say. Of the Slovakian president, right? I'm going to play this clip for you, folks. And this is, you can see the person, okay? You see a short person there with gray hair behind the fence. You'll see, it'll play twice. You'll see this person lunge forward. I turned the volume way down so you can hear the pew-pews, but not really loud, okay? And hopefully this won't get me in trouble, but you don't really, it's not anything gory or anything. But here we go. I played it twice, and you could see the person step forward. And if you didn't catch it, it played twice. If you didn't catch it, come to the 10-minute mark. And this is, now they say he is in serious condition. But hopefully he'll make it. But you see him being taken to the vehicle. He's just right of center screen with his legs bowed, being carried by one person on either side of him. This plays also twice, him being taken to his vehicle. At least he was able to ambulate with assistance, but he had a serious head wound, from what I've heard. Well, it only played once, but you saw the assailant on the ground. Let me play it again real quick. The assailant was on the ground with the women standing around and the men standing around, but you could see he is at least able to assist somewhat to get in the vehicle. So they got him on the ground, but the notable thing about this is he said two things: that he was going to veto Ukraine getting in NATO, and he rejected the WHO directives or whatever their last garbage they were putting out. He was against the WHO and against UCRISL, and next thing you know, you got an MK, and then the other word is ultra character coming up out of the blue. And, but don't worry, you got Blinken in UCRISL, okay? And for new people that may not know this, Blinken arrives in Ukraine to boost spirits, funnel U.S. military aid. A resurgent Russian military is pressing hard before Ukrainians can rearm. They're doing a walk, and they're getting close to Kharkov, and they're putting out signals that they're going to start heavy operations. Okay, and they're meeting very little resistance. A lot of people are complaining that defense systems that were paid for never got put up. All kinds of finger pointing. And there's a video out of Blinken playing a guitar in a bar, singing along to, I think, a Neil Young song. And the Eastern news services are saying, this is what your sons are going off to war for rich people to play the guitar and fart around in a bar. So for people that don't know, new people, Blinken, his parents were best friends with Georgie Porgy Soriosio, okay, who heads up these non-government organizations. And he liked him so much so that he even named a hotel in Yugoslavia after Blinken's parents. And Blinken is Secretary of State. And as we all learned from past broadcasts, there are situations where the Secretary of State becomes the acting vice president. That happened under the Nixon administration after Spiro Agnew resigned. Okay? Henry Kissinger was acting vice president of the United States. So anyway, didn't mean to go on that tangent. Oh, okay. A lot of millionaires in UCRISL. There was an attempt on Roland. How you doing? Mr. T. Oh my God. There are so many attempts that have been made on Mr. T, and it's going to come out. So anyway, folks, here I got a little. I want to show you how good these protests are going. This is great. Okay, have you all seen this stunning and brave protester here? She will not give any ground. I could keep that on a loop and just play it and play it and play it. Ha ha ha. Oh, really, Lone Wolf? Mr. T? With Mr. T? A Secret Service agent involved. That happened early in Trump's presidency also, where a Secret Service agent was involved, and one Secret Service agent passed away from tasting food. I believe Mr. T was in Scotland, and they almost succeeded. But something's going to happen, folks, and I'm going to close out by letting you all know this. Things are going to get very ugly. This country is not ready for the cavalry to come in. In its current condition of thinking everything's fine. When you have former service members looking at what's going on in this world and then saying, well, Trump buys his way out of problems. Everybody knows he buys his way out of problems. A desultory slur of a person who sacrificed everything for this country. You still have that kind of attitude. You have people with the attitude, they'll sit on their couch and watch Trump during the debates when they cut his mic off and his mouth is still moving and he's passionately trying to inform people what's going on. They'll laugh at him if the debate even happens. Those people need a reality smack, and I've said it in the past, and I still believe it, that things are going to get ugly. So be ready, be prepared, be safe. Make sure you can see your way through it. Your family can see their way through it. And the storm's going to come. Be ready for it. Nobody said that we wouldn't go through a storm or that we would stand in sunny pastures while the storm hits everywhere else. No, we're all going to go through a storm. And we got people too comfortable in their chains. Okay? Too comfortable with the eagle flying over their mailbox and not giving a damn about their fellow countrymen. They're the ones who got to get woken up. So be ready for it. And I appreciate you all coming in. I don't know how many people we had in tonight. I know I haven't been around for a while. And I have to give my voice a rest because I can't have problems with that in the future. And but I do try to post on my community page, Oh my God, I posted a post. How many of you all saw where that guy was saying terrible things that he would do to areas of Christian worship? And I took it down. But I was trying to get people to alerts. Somebody could have got hurt over something like that. But hey, they take down people like me who say, it used to be I couldn't say Fulton County or video would get taken down. Now you can say it. But when the heat was on, no, you go after people that say something bad about Fannie Willis. But somebody says they're going to do something terrible at a Noah's Ark park or a church. Just leave it up, right? Thank you, Single Songwriter. Yeah, thank you all for reporting it. But it didn't matter. It's still up. And it just gave them views. He had thousands of views. So I took my post down because I could have gotten in trouble for I don't know, bullying, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, folks, I'll close out with this little clip a lot of you all like. And I don't know when I'll post again. Maybe I'll just, I'll see how my throat goes. But anyway, folks, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. I appreciate Lone Wolf for helping support the channel this evening. And I will be talking to you soon, okay? I got a little clip I'll play for you all. I'll see you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
You want to play games? Okay. Come on. Okay. You want to play rough? Okay. No. Say hello to my little